Good evening, or afternoon, or morning. Here it is afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, on a beautiful Sunday. It's slightly clouded, but it's very warm and nice. Rained a bit yesterday. Today it's pretty cool. I can walk around in a t-shirt, even though it's like 13 degrees Celsius. Still very nice and comfy. Feels a lot warmer than it is actually. So, just some small updates on what I've been doing. Not that anyone cares, but if you're watching, maybe you do care, so I guess I shouldn't say that. I finished playing Subnautica. I like that a lot. Uh, I have not played the other game, the expansion, Below Zero, but I've played Subnautica. And yeah, I know the game has been out for a while, but whatever. I like playing games when they come and buy them when they're pretty cheap. I'm a patient gamer. I like that a lot. I played Warhammer Bolt Gun, Warhammer 40k Bolt Gun, and that's a bit new, or a newer game, but it was pretty cheap because I guess it's because it's a 2D shooter game, similar to like Duke Nukem. So Duke Nukem 3D, that is. If you're an old school player, you'll know what I'm talking about. That was also quite fun. So I played the two fun games that I liked. I tried playing Tyranny, which is a CRPG, and you're supposed to be more evil there, but it moved too slow for me. Like, I know CRPG is not supposed to move fast, but if you play like games like Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, Dragon Age Origins, or Pathfinder, or Rogue Trader, whatever, right? Those games were faster than Tyranny. Tyranny was too slow for me. Way too slow. Is it a beetle? Yeah, take a look here. That's a pretty big blue beetle on some cow shit. No, actually dog shit, not cow shit. Yeah, it's a very pretty one. I like beetles. It's disappearing now. Alright. So yeah, I gave that like 1 hour or something. And I don't subscribe to the theory that you have to play a game for a long time to give it a chance. No. A game should have like 20 to 60 minutes to hook you in, impress you, and if it doesn't, why bother? And there was a lot of text to read, which isn't that bad, because Pathfinder 40k also has a lot of text to read, but here it just didn't capture me. It just seemed boring. And of course, the first tough NPC you meet that's on your side is always that sassy chick, and she was black too. So, the typical writers are trying to subvert the expectation thing, which is no longer being subverted, of course, because it's now so mainstream. That was pulled, and I guess I just have fatigue of these strong female, for modern audiences. Like, whatever. It's a fantasy game though, so it doesn't bother me too much. But it's more like a combination, slow gameplay, not so captivating story, a lot of text to read. Controls felt very clunky, and just the pace was just too slow, and it just bored me. So, no, maybe later I might give Tyranny another chance, but right now it's not a priority. I downloaded Dragon's Dogma Dark Horizon, the first one, not the new one. I don't know if it's called Dark Horizon actually, but let's just say Dragon's Dogma. Okay, I have that. I played a little bit yesterday. It was actually quite fun. It looks very complex though, so I'm gonna look up a guide to help me out, so I don't mess around and build like a completely awful character. Or if I'm stopping, and it's because sometimes there are snakes here, and I really, really, really want to capture one. It's been years since I last caught a snake. The other creature I caught on the video was not a snake, it was a legless lizard. And I know, isn't that a snake? So people say, but no, it's snakes and lizards are different. So, yeah. Anyway, I still have not found the urge to play Nier Automata. I know it's gonna come. It's just the wind. I know that's gonna come. So, anyway, that's from the gaming side. So Subnautica, highly recommended. Warhammer 40k Bolt Gun, also highly recommended. Two fun games, two very different games. One's a undersea survival game, and if you love the ocean, which I do, you'll like it a lot. And Warhammer 40k Bolt Gun is just, you know, your classic 2D shooter, similar to like Duke Nukem 3D. So, and I say Duke Nukem 3D, not Doom, because in Doom you couldn't really aim much. You know, it was the crosshair was simple. Duke Nukem 3D was much more interactive. And yeah, I'm gonna play some Darkest Drop now. The first one, which again, I know I'm late to the party, but whatever. Like I said, I'm a patient guy. So another thing that we're now seeing, we're seeing two things now. We're seeing how the Jews are trying to ruin all the protest and Palestine protest movement, similar to how they did with the Occupy Wall Street movement. They're going to infiltrate it. They're going to really annoy people by doing shit like blocking roads and whatever to make people late for work, which is then going to push people to hate the protest movement. And then in a way, they start supporting the Israeli movement because they'll say like, well, at least these Israel people, they didn't block the roads. Easy, sitz, Land, sitz. Slow down. She's getting old. She's over 11. So. Anyway, where was I? Yeah. So the movements are, but they're being infiltrated, and they're trying to ruin them to piss people off. And then you typically got the, and apparently there's a hook-nosed lady that speaks with a horrible Arabic accent. I think it's pretty clear that she's Israeli, and saying shit like white people must die or whatever, you know. The usual stuff to piss people off. Now, thankfully, thanks to social media, especially TikTok, which is why they banned it, these fucking kikes. At least banned in the US, hasn't been banned all over the world. Thankfully, thanks to social media, people are aware, and we just gotta, you know, do our best to keep people red-pilled on these fucking Jews. Now, I'm a Muslim, so we're kind of red-pilled on the Jews by default. And I know Eastern Europeans, they're also pretty red-pilled, especially the Orthodox Christian on the Jews. So it's Western Europe and North America that's actually the real problem. And I guess Germany also counts as Western Europe. Yeah. Come. So they're the real problem. Especially the boomers, you know, you can write the boomers off. We already know that. Yeah. Gen Xers, though, they're disappointing. But Gen Xers, you can also write mostly them off. Gen Xers, they grew up on a steady diet of, oh, woe is me, you know, and how Jews are the victims. Come sit, Slan. What the hell is wrong with you? Normally, she knows that once we get here, she stands still, you know, because she knows I'm going to take her off the leash. Today, something is wrong. I don't know why. She's super excited today. It's a bit annoying. Anyway, yeah, Gen Xers, you can largely write them off too. They're the type that watch like Bill Maher show, and they still watch TV, and they don't really get the internet. And when they do, when they are on the internet, they're typically on either Facebook or maybe Instagram. So, and we know Facebook and Instagram is really, really heavily in favor of Israel. So, focus on millennials, late millennials, especially they're pretty red-pilled, but early millennials, unfortunately, because I'm in that area, many of them are similar to Gen Xers, so it sucks, but you gotta red pill them. And find the right angle. If they're religious, just talk about what the Jews say about Christian, how they treat Christian Palestinians. And I don't, like I said, I don't have to say this to my Muslim brothers because we're all red pilled here. So this is mostly for you people that are living in Western Europe. So focus on that. Now, most of Western Europe, though, they're not religious, so maybe they don't care. They're all about, gay rights shit and all that crap. So instead, focus on all the dead children. Focus on all the lies. There are so many of them, it shouldn't be a problem. Just keep focusing. Every time Israel accuses Hamas of doing something, is first, it's a confession, and two, they got caught lying. And just make a big list, and then ask them point blank, has any of the things that Israel has accused Hamas of actually been true? The only thing that Israel has is the October 7 attack, and the October 7 attack, a lot of the people that died were killed by Israeli Apache helicopters and tanks. Is it? Nej, sitz. Dygtig. Godt. Yeah. So, and then they had to reduce the numbers from 1,400 to 12. I think it's now 1,100 now. I'm not too sure. I think I saw a number saying 1,100 Israelis have died. So, and then if they start saying, if they release the hostages, no, nothing's going to happen. Point out that they kept killing Palestinians even long before October 7. Most people know this, but Western media really have done a stellar job in keeping people ignorant. I tell them about all the hostages that's been kidnapped, including Palestinian Christians. Like there's a young Palestinian Christian woman just taken from her home, kidnapped. And they kidnapped her and didn't tell her what for, what charge. And they also sentenced her to like some sort of detention that they can keep detaining her without explanation or reason. Young Palestinian Christian woman. So show her, because Westerners, they like seeing women without hijabs. This is the reality. And if you show a pretty young girl without a hijab, but still, modestly dressed, they'll be far more sympathetic. You can also show them, prisoners that have been released by the Israeli terrorist forces. They look emaciated. You know what they look like? They look exactly like victims in a concentration camp. Completely starved. Hands and feet have to be amputated because they just handcuff them and never let them out. And they handcuff them very tight so it stops the blood circular flow. Like, it's utterly disgusting. Utterly. So when these movements, they try to ruin it, keep that in mind and remember what happened to Occupy Wall Street. It started off really good, and then it got co-opted by the Jews and their useful idiots that are the typical, Western liberal leftists, always screeching about white people are bad. You gotta have rights for everybody. You can't have rights if you don't push forward marginalized groups like disabled trans people and shit like that. So it takes away all the steam, and that's what they're doing now. They're blocking the roads. These Jews for a free Palestine. And you can say, they're well-intentioned. No, it's going to piss people off. People are going to get late for work. The first things first that you don't want to fuck with is people's livelihood and their ability to put bread and food on the table. If you fuck with that, you lose sympathy. And for some reason, or many reasons, or perhaps just one reason, the Jews seem not have gotten the memo, or, as I suspect, they know indeed why they're doing it, and they still do it, just so the sympathy movement can be killed. And you also see now happening something on the right, you see your typical super goyim Matt Walsh, which I'm annoyed that Nicholas Fuentes, he still thinks of him as like some sort of trap-based guy. No, he's not. Fuck no. And he's gonna say some stuff that's gonna sound like he's super pro free speech and he's not on the side of Israel and blah blah blah. This is called control opposition, and the Jews can't tolerate if he can say stuff like that, as long as they are the one that controls it, as long as they're the one that can dictate it, and they can, let a few, quips fly by on how free speech is super important, or blah blah blah, and then I'll say, well, if Jews were so bad and we control everything, then why do we let Matt Walsh, speak freely? And retards are gonna fall for it, because retards are retards. You can't help them, but you just gotta focus on smart young people, keep educating them, and there you go. So that was the politics side. We had the gaming side. For the crypto side, that's not too much to talk about. Market is crabbing again, and a downward slump even. Kind of sucks. OUD feels dead. The only activity we get is like from porn bots. Easy. There you go. So yeah, it sucks. But whatever, we just gotta wait. They really are starting World War III to prevent us from making it. They don't want a new class of multimillionaires and billionaires. That's the conspiracy. I am subscribing to it because I don't care if I'm deluded. I embrace my delusion. The only thing that I'm worried about is that they're also going to try and kill us. They tried to kill us with COVID, but we were too smart. We didn't get vaccinated, most of us. A few of us maybe did, for like work reasons, whatever. I didn't, thankfully. But I know some people, they had to do it because their job threatened to fire them and shit like that. But those that did get vaccinated, they only got it once or twice, and they refused to get boosters. So good on you. Yeah, it sucks you had to get vaccinated, but at least you didn't get all these boosters like some idiots. Yeah. What else to talk about? I saw a documentary on India. It was called India, the worst country in the world, the Pajit Codex, something like that. 1 hour and 22 minutes. AI narrative, narration by David Attenborough, obviously AI voice used. And words can't describe how disgusting India is. It really can't. It bothers me. See how clean this is? It bothers me if I see a single piece of trash, especially because it's so clean. Because for me, it's actually, oh, there's some asshole here that didn't care about his environment. In India, though, you're probably an asshole if you clean up a bit. They're gonna think, wow, why is he cleaning up? Servants do that, or is he stupid, or blah blah blah. And they might even try to take advantage of you, because everybody litters. Everybody throws trash out. They don't care about their environment. There's a great post. I think it was on Paul. I actually took grabbed a screen cap of it, or a picture. I can't remember. It was shared before, but it was some Polak guy, and he wrote that the internet had been a curse for India, because before the internet, back in the 90s and 80s, everybody thought India was this cool, mysterious country full of yoga people and serene and chill, in touch with nature and themselves and blah blah blah. And now, thanks to the internet, everyone has been exposed that they're just a bunch of cow shit eating, cow pee drinking, rat worshipping. They literally have temples full of rats that they worship. Trash throwing, environment destroying, polluting, rapists, gang rapists, animal rapists people. It's disgusting. And they'll make up excuses like, oh, it's lower caste, or it's Pakistan. Their favorite accusation is trying to divert it to, oh, these are Pakistani doing it, right? Because they hate Pakistan. And whenever you expose Indians doing grotesque, disgusting, repulsive, deeds, shits, action, whatever you want to call it. And they'll try to throw the blame on Pakistan, or they'll say, oh, these are lower caste people, or this is a XYZ region in India, typically the Muslim regions that they'll try maybe to steer across because the Indians hate Muslims. A lot of the Hindus really hate Muslims. And if they can't do that, then they'll say, well, your ancestors did the same back in this, like what the fuck, man? This is not an argument that works. So it's called the Coos Free Laws. Now I can't remember it by the head or through memory, but you can probably look it up. There's like Poo Law 1, Poo Law 2, Poo Law 3. I think the first Poo Law is the longer the argument goes, the quicker the Indian or the Pajit or whatever will claim that he fucked a white woman. That's their thing. Women come to our country to get fucked or whatever, right? And this is a warning actually to women as well. Like, if there is any woman watching this, don't fucking solo travel to India. Don't even travel to India with someone. Like, why would you go to India? It's disgusting. Look at how they prepare food. They have no sense of hygiene. Life is extremely cheap. They rape constantly. People die in their polluted rivers, and the corpses get eaten by wild hogs and stray dogs. They rape the stray dogs. They probably also rape the wild hogs. If they can't, no, the hogs are too big. Not possible. But they rape the cows. And, I don't think the cows aren't butters, so it's not really a rape, I guess, because they can probably not even feel it going in. But dogs are smaller creatures. And, it's completely animal abuse. I want to link it, and I want to put the link in the description, but I don't. It's I'll just say the title again because you can easily just search it with Bing. Fuck Google. Google is horrible lately when it comes to results. So for certain stuff, it's still pretty good for other stuff. But try. Don't be married to Google. Okay, use other search engines, and you don't have to use DuckDuckGo either. So just try out, various different things. But anyway. It was again called India, the worst country in the world, Pajit Codex. I think if you search for that, you should get the result. Like I said, 1 hour and 22 minutes. There's one part that I had to skip, and that was the tranny part. I'm sorry, I just can't watch anything trans. It's disgusting. It repulses me so much. I actually feel like my balls shrink, my asshole tightening. It's like you see that, you just know it's not natural. It's disgusting, and even saying it disturbs me. So yeah, right, 23 minutes of just talking, ranting. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm gonna have some trouble figuring out what to title this video because it's a bit about everything. Not so much about crypto lately, because what can you say? Good news comes out all the time and barely moves the market for us, both for Link and Rose. It just keeps dumping or crabbing. Like Oasis had a really cool hackathon out in ETHDAM. Like a lot of projects were submitted. So let's hope people build. Word of mouth spreads. Chainlink they're now part of the ISS something. I don't know. I don't even care, honestly. I don't even follow Chainlink news that much. Because what's going to happen? They're going to release some bullish news again. Oh, we're now working with this mega trillion bank. All right, cool. How does it affect Link? Oh, nice. There's a 1.4% pump or something, right? Boom. Oh, wow. It went up like 30 cents or some shit. And then it crabs. You're lucky, maybe in a while it may have like a 50% pump. That lasts for like a couple of days, maybe even a week. People start FOMOing. Then it dumps 30%. Crabs, dumps a bit more. And then it dumps to like 35 to 40% of up to 50% pump. So you're still 10% dump or something, or maybe a 50% dump. I don't know. If you go like way back, then of course, yeah, you're up, but it is fucking frustrating. And Rose is kind of behaving in a similar manner as Link. Nothing really happens. Now Illuminex, the price for Illuminex is also down a lot. But again, market conditions are just shit. So yeah, no animals, no cows, except for bees and a beetle, some flies, cow shit and dog shit. No cows here today. Cows might be down, but I don't want to go down because, like I said, yesterday it rained, so it's going to be muddy, and I don't want to take the dog in areas where it's muddy because the time when I get back, I have to clean her, and I'm too lazy for that. I guess it's easier for me talking about how much Israel sucks or something. It's very hard to run out of ammunition there. I did see one cool, funny thing. Apparently, Xi was caught saying to his aides, like, when is he leaving? Like, and he being Blinken, like, apparently he didn't really care that for him. And I think the U.S. the U.S. has long been considered like subservient to Israel, but now it's become really bad. They're considered a joke. Like, how can you take a country serious that keeps screeching about democracy and free speech and all that shit and human rights, and then they beat up their own young people, students, for simply protesting what another country is doing, what Israel is doing? And you got senators praising cops, calling for the National Guard, putting snipers on the roofs so they can shoot and maim and harm and kill young students protesting against the genocide. Like, what the fuck is going on? Alright, lots of traffic suddenly. Come, just gonna wait. Wait. That guy's from Poland. Alright, now I can cross. That took a while. I don't know what happened. Suddenly there was a lot of traffic. And it's a Sunday too, so it's not people coming back from church. I can tell you that much. Danes are not very religious. Not at all. In fact, there's a slight resurgence in Asatru, which is, the pagan belief in the Norse gods. But that's more like fashionable, they'll tattoo themselves with like Thor's hammer and buy like Thor's hammers, amulets and shit, necklaces. And they'll learn a little bit about the lore, and that's it. They won't be attending like any religious ceremonies. That's it. It's very few. When I say few, I really do mean very few. Like so few that the people that do it, they get featured on television. So it's not people coming back from church, and it's definitely not people coming back from whatever, Viking ceremonies. I don't even know if that's on Sundays. But yeah, it was a bit weird. Suddenly there's a lot of traffic. Alright. I'm gonna film here just to avoid the signs, so you can see the pretty dog instead. She is cute, but she is getting old. She, as you saw, has trouble listening. Didn't used to be like that. Scratching on my leg. Alright, there we go. Now we can film normally again. Hurry, come. I'm also speaking 3 languages to the dog, like German, Danish, and Turkish. So, kind of funny. So, we ranted about the Jews. We talked about the student protest, which is picking up globally, worldwide. Now the kikes are trying to ruin it, as I mentioned before. So, just be careful, be mindful. Remember, this is all control opposition, psyops. They do this intentionally. And you got retarded righties that will say like, oh, George Soros is funding this is the Chi-Coms, or World WF and Klaus Schwab. Anything to make it appear that is not naturally and organic. And there will be retards. A lot of retards that think that they're, I'm based in Red Pill, and I know what's really going on. It's the Illuminati and the Bilderbergs and the Freemasons and all that shit. Anything they'll see anything but the Jews. Anything but the Jews. So you gotta be careful with these people too. Yeah. Anyway, like I said, it's a 30-minute long video, so if you can endure 30 minutes of me, having a monologue or soliloquy or whatever, just talking while I'm filming about random shit, maybe not random, good on you, thanks, I appreciate it. I'm gonna end the video here now and be uploading it when I get back home. And stay strong, don't fall into despair, don't fall into control opposition psyops. Be clever, be critical. Remember, every single of these so-called faux-based, right-wing, Trump-based people, they're all fucking retards owned by Jews and controlled by Jews. Matt Walsh is a fucking Zionist. Don't believe a single word this guy comes out of this guy's mouth. He'll say like I've said this before, but they'll always say like some non-controversial stupid take that everybody can agree on. Trannies are bad. Wow, how fucking insightful. Are you going to tell me next that the water is wet? Some bullshit like that. Because apparently if you say trannies are bad, that means you're edgy and wow, he said stuff you're not supposed to say. You couldn't say this now. Maybe back, like, the people are so fucking retarded, it's disturbing. You got E.A. Miles fucking Chung, who even got into trouble with the Malaysian government because he just, tweets about America and shit like that all the time and talks about America like, the fuck, dude? Don't you love your own country? So he had to tweet how he loves Malaysia. That was funny as hell. If he fucks up again, let's see if he's gonna fuck up again. Outside, you also got like, every single retard on the right that always talks about the Chi-Coms and the Klaus Schwab, You just know, if they don't mention the Jews or Israel or something, you just know that they're controlled by them. You got that dimwit Tim Fool, Dim Tool, Beanie Master. Also talks about how I care about Palestine as much as I care about Burma and dumb shit like that. I see it all the time on my feed. I don't follow him. I just see other people like quote tweeting how he's a fucking moron. But he still has a large audience. And a lot of dumb idiots, they follow him because he said something that, like, he's a liberal, but he says something like the most liberal wouldn't say. The fucking retards, man. Read a book, for fuck's sake. I'm sorry, I know a lot of people that follow me on the right, but fuck, man. A lot of you rights are dumb as fuck. Not you personally that's watching this. You're cool, you're able to think critically, but you know what I mean. A lot of people on the right, they're dumb as fuck. And I've ranted enough about leftists, so I don't want to fucking preface that a lot of leftists are dumb too, okay? I don't want to do that. You already know I fucking feel that way. But you fucking righties, you also need to hear this. A lot of you people are dumb as fuck because you believe these Jewish controlled opposition, and they will sell you out as soon as possible if Israel just says something. Israel says jump, they'll jump. Israel says, okay, we don't like this narrative being pushed anymore, change it, they'll change it. And you're too afraid to, like, when I say you, I mean the righties, right? I don't mean you personally. But yeah. It's the same thing in Denmark. You know how much it pisses me off listening to the news in Denmark? Like, I was at the gym, and whenever it hits like a new hour, like let's say you move from, I don't know, 8 to 9, right? News comes up for like 2, 3, 4 minutes, and I just listen to it, and it's like Israel in its war against Hamas, blah blah blah. What the fuck? This is not a war. This is a massacre. They don't mention anything. And then they say, Joe Biden, blah, 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 has requested some restraint as the fear of it. Like, it's just, it makes it sound like there's a real conflict going on, which is not. Gaza is almost completely destroyed. And that pisses me off too, because Western media in Europe, they're fucking paused too, man. Fucking Zog media. Zio control all of it. Can't say shit about Jews. They really worship them. It's amazing. Like, you can't talk, you can't question anything. Anything about Jews is like, no. Doesn't matter how rich and powerful you are, you gotta kiss the Jewish ass, or they'll shut you down. Unless you like have balls of steel and you just say fucking anyway, move off the grid, move maybe to a country that's doesn't cuck themselves to the kikes, and then you'll be fine. Kanye didn't do that. Kanye bent the knee, and from what I've heard, he's going to start doing pornography or produce pornography. I don't know. It's like he's become a Satanist. Apparently he loves wealth so much that he sold his soul for Jews. Like, I didn't listen to Kanye's music because I'm old, I guess. I don't know. I don't understand young music. But I like what I heard from him. Like, he sounded like a really compassionate Christian. And when he said he loves Hitler, that's because he's coming from a Christian perspective of loving thy enemy and loving everyone. Even if he doesn't consider Hitler's still everyone, part of everyone, right? And from what I understand, that's what Christians believe, right? They believe in love and compassion for everybody, even if someone that they vehemently disagree with or somebody that would be considered their enemy. But because he said that, of course the kites, they jump on it. And I thought he soldiered out, but no, he writes an apology in Hebrew, and now he's talking about producing porn with his missus. So all this stuff, by the way, I got from Nick Fuentes' show. I like that guy a lot. I don't like everything he says about Islam, but that's fine, But he's not dumb, and he's not afraid to call out the Jews and literally say Jews, because not too many are brave enough to do that. So I like him a lot. I tried to catch every show. Sometimes I'll skip it, like once, if it's like women and shit like that, like I don't fucking care. Alright. It's not my problem that Western women are considered degenerates. Anyway, that was 7 minutes ago I said I was going to stop this video, so then I started ranting a bit more. So yeah, now I'm going to stop it. So thanks for watching, and see you guys.